This next exercise is another one of my favorites. It's the hip abduction. Now, abduction just means going away from the body. Adduction means coming back towards the body. So a hip abduction looks like this, up and down. Now, it looks like you're just working this leg, but actually you're working this one too, because when you stand on one leg, your abductors or your side glute muscles have to kick in. So from this side, it looks like this. Some common mistakes that I see are truncaling and not engaging the core. So it might look like this. We don't want to see that. We want to see nice and solid, core activated, lifting up through the glutes. Ways to make this easier are to add some hand support. A kitchen sink works great. If you have a chair, that works. Any arm support will do. You can just hold on with an arm and go up and down. So another way that you can modify this activity, especially if it hurts to stand on one leg, is to do it on the floor. Before we go down to the floor, I wanted to just point out one thing, that my toes are pointed straight forward. They're not going out like that. They're not really turning in like that. They're pointing straight forward, and I want you to keep that forward toe as we go down to the ground. Before we do that, I'm going to show you the side view, just straight up and down. So you don't want to lean forward here. You don't want to lean to the side. You don't want your toes to go out. The last thing is you don't want to lock the standing leg knee. Keep that knee engaged. Feet, the weight should be equally distributed through your feet, like that. So if you want to take it down to the floor, that's another great way to work your abductors if it hurts to bear weight through your knees. So you can go down like that. You can be all the way down, or you can be on your elbow. It's completely up to you. I prefer to be all the way down. You can bend the bottom leg for a little bit more support, but keep the tummy muscles tight. And then flex your heel, which means don't point the toe, but bring those toes towards the shin. That's just going to help you keep the leg in the right position. And then you want your hip bones stacked directly on top of each other here, going up and down like this. A very common mistake is people will start to roll back, like after a total hip replacement. This is a common exercise that people might progress to. And if you're rolling back and your toes are pointed up, you're using more your hip flexors than your hip abductors. So sometimes I'll even cue people to point their toes slightly down, to rotate that hip slightly inward, so that we're sure to isolate that hip abductor. So making it a little bit harder on the ground, you can straighten that bottom leg. You can add a resistance band. The short bands are going to work best. So you would put the band, this one might actually be a little bit hard, but we'll see. Put the band around the ankles. It's okay. Going up and down. You're going to be tempted to roll back. You're going to be tempted to make those toes point up. Fight that temptation. You can feel that glute working right there. An excellent, excellent exercise to support your hip joints. All right. Let's talk about some other modifications or adaptations that you can use to increase the resistance. My Marcy machine here, that's not the name of the machine, that's the name of the brand. I didn't name my Smith machine Marcy. You can put this ankle attachment on, and I added some weight to the back there. Just like this. This one is a burner. Up and down. One of my faves. It's also just a really nice standing core exercise if you're doing it correctly. So then to do the other leg, you would just unstrap, turn around, strap this ankle in, and go like that. Okay, let me show you the standing modification with the band. I don't find the dumbbells to be particularly helpful for standing abduction. I'll show you why. But the bands are. You can do this with or without arm support. This is a hard band, so I could be using an easier band right now, but that's okay. You can see I'm starting to lean a little bit with my trunk. If you want to get some arm support, that might be beneficial for you. Just like that. Now, with the dumbbells, the reason I don't find dumbbells super helpful on this one is if you're thinking about the movement, we want the weight to go against gravity, so to speak, against the muscle fiber. And this weight, the force of this weight is going straight down, not necessarily in line with these muscle fibers. So if you're doing it like this, you're going to get a little bit of extra resistance, better than none if that's what you have. But you're lifting it a little bit with your arm too, so you're not getting as much benefit as you would from like a cable or a band for this hip abduction exercise. I hope you give that one a try. Let me know if you have any questions on it.